Welcome to the Change Book Podcast. My name is Rachel Best, and this is our co-host.
I'm Nicole Harvick.
And this is the Change Book series. It is the fastest growing self-empowerment book series on the planet.
This spans over 30 countries, and we now bring them all together in a powerful podcast destined to change people from all corners of the globe.
So go ahead and grab your pen and paper because our guest today is going to share a lot of amazing tips and inspiration that you're definitely going to want to write down.
Hello. Oh my goodness. I'm so excited to be here today. Hello, Nicole. Hello, Natasha.
Hi.
Today we have another amazing guest in the Change Book series. And Natasha, I'm not Davini? Is that how you say your name? I should have asked you before. But you know. But anyways, we are so excited to just celebrate you today, highlight you today, and share with us what made you decide to be a part of the Change Book series.
So I started all of this in liaison of losing my best friend. For a long time, she tried to get me to come out with like my gifts and abilities, but I'm like, what would the world think of that? They're gonna put me in a straitjacket. No way. But here I am. When the opportunity presented itself, it was too good to pass up, and I couldn't wait to work with Jim. I absolutely could not wait. I was very familiar with his work, and so here I am.
Nice. So which book are you in?
I want to say chapter 20, but don't quote me on that.
Okay, book 20. Okay, awesome. That's one Nicole and I are in also.
Yep.
So share with us a little bit about like where you started to get you to here.
So this all started with my RN degree. I was a registered nurse for a long time, and based off of societal conditioning and all that good jazz, I was always striving to prove myself. So I later went back and got my doctorate as well as 13 other certifications, all to end up coming out as I am a psychic medium. I solve murders for a living. That's what I do. I work very closely with a lot of the police departments and, other organizations around the world like Crime Stoppers and things like that to solve missing people cases.
Oh my goodness.
That's amazing. So when you were an RN, I'm very curious, when you worked with people, did you have the ability to maybe see what illness they had or what they were dealing with and how they needed help?
Yes, and actually it still happens today. So a lot of my clients, when they come to me, it's like an all-stop shop. That's my joke. Not only can I, have medical intuitive abilities, but I can also read people's minds, which is another fun fact. So I help with counseling. I help with women's issues, whether it's hormonal imbalances, OBGYN, or heart disease. Like it's a lot, but it's very rewarding. It's very, very rewarding.
Wow. And I'm curious, you said you wanted to kind of keep it quiet. Were you afraid? And I resonate with this because I haven't spoke a lot about my abilities up until recently. But did you just feel that people would judge you or think you were a little bit crazy or?
Well, that's actually a funny story. So I've been this way my whole life. Ever since I was a child, I was telling my mom, "Hey, I see a dead person there, or that's a deceased people are there." Like everywhere that I went. Growing up, my mom was always like, don't tell people that. People might think you're crazy. Sorry, got a visitor, guys. People might think you're crazy. You have to be careful with that. We also grew up in a very religious family. They're Catholic. Um, excuse me. So a lot of my family would be like, "Oh my God, she's evil. You should take her to the priest." And da 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 da. It continued throughout my life. Anytime I tried to share, hey, this person is here because everybody that I encounter comes with a deceased relative. Everybody. Doesn't matter if it's at the grocery store, wherever it is, everybody comes with like their own personal guardian angel. They start giving me information and it scares a lot of people. I mean, there's not many people out there that's like me, so I can see the fear. So growing up, I just kind of shrank myself and was like, oh my God, they're going to lock me up because it was instilled in me.
Wow.
But
That's quite a story. So from being a nurse to solving murders, what was that journey like?
well, it always happens for me. So example, I used to watch the news. When I would watch the news, if I see somebody's picture, it immediately starts flashing before my eyes like a picture reel. That's the only way I can explain it. So it never really stopped. I channel all the time. I always joke about I'm a therapist to the living and the deceased because they don't respect boundaries. They kind of come and go whenever they want to come. But everywhere, the TV, people, and it just it makes me feel good because of the loss that I suffered. This girl that you see right here on my necklace, she's the reason all of this started. I lost her in 2019 to a drug overdose, and she was the one that was always like, "You got to come out. You got to share this with the world. This is amazing." What will people think? That fear kept me stuck. Now, the transition was actually kind of easy because I was already helping people. And I would use information that they didn't really know that I was getting from their deceased relative to help them with their health journey. And I still do that today. Yeah, it's very interesting, I know.
Yeah, to me, it's fascinating because I don't have, your abilities per se, but when you talk about seeing things in a reel, is that because your third eye is open?
Yes, and it has always been that way. I always was different. I seen things in a different light growing up my whole life. I didn't really conform to a lot of societal conditions for the most part. I was the rebellious teenager and the rebellious young adult. Mom said, don't do it. And I was like, I'm going to do it twice. Um, so,
I can
so
resonate with
it
that.
really,
Yeah.
yeah, I know. It really didn't click, I guess is the best way to put it, until I became older and was like, you know what? This could really help a lot of people. There's so many people out here grieving, and a lot of people question life after death. And a lot of people are so afraid of what people will think of them that society just follows the leader. And half of the time, the people that are leading society, they really don't even know how to lead themselves.
Yeah, that is very true. So you had, when you emailed me, you wanted to speak about your path, your passion. Tell us a little bit about that.
So I am on a journey to heal other people, mind, body, heart, and soul. Everything starts with the mind. A lot of diseases actually start with the mind. We store stress and all kinds of stuff within ourselves. So my whole journey is to help people understand, one, you can't be afraid, guys. You cannot be afraid to shine your light. Step up and step out. When we shrink ourselves to appease society and humanity, we shrink so much about ourselves. We become depressed and anxiety ridden. So everything that I do is to help people find their passion and their purpose. We can all turn pain into purpose, every bit of it. We are
Mhm.
not stuck and stagnant or limited to anything. The only thing that's limited is our beliefs.
Yeah, very true. And so when you're talking about dealing with people that have passed over, that means we never die. We just leave our body. Is that correct?
That is correct. And it's a fun fact. A lot of people believe they go over and they're stuck there. They can come and go when they want. It's kind of like Quantum Leap, if you ever seen Quantum Leap, the older one.
Mhm.
It's like this portal is the only way I can explain it, kind of like behind me, opens and they just step through. And when they want to leave, they just go back. But we're just energy. The only thing you're taking with you is your soul. So dust it off, live your life, and just have fun.
Oh, goodness, I love that. Have you ever experienced that, Rachel? Like getting messages or anything?
So, no, well, so I don't know how to answer this question because I have a different belief system and I respect people's beliefs. And so I have a different belief system. So
Gotcha.
I believe in Jesus and God and, You know,
He's real.
yes,
They're
I
real.
just have
Mhm.
I just have a different belief system around that stuff. That's why I don't have much to say. I'm just listening. Because
But Jesus does exist. So that's another thing that's really big in the spiritual community that drives me
Mhm.
insane. They don't believe in God. They believe in something different, or devil doesn't exist. Satan does. Yes, they do. They are
Oh yeah, the
absolutely
spiritual world.
real.
I will
Yes,
definitely agree with you. The spiritual,
yes,
but I just have a different take on the spiritual world than what
yes.
you're sharing. And so that's why I'm just kind of just listening to what you're saying. And so just yeah,
That's
Hey, there's
interesting.
nothing wrong.
yeah,
Everybody has a different belief. Whatever
yeah.
gets you closest to God, in my opinion, is what you should follow because God does exist.
Right. Oh
Absolutely.
yeah, most definitely. God exists,
Mhm.
and also there is the spiritual world. 100% believe in that spiritual world. And yeah, I'm all about casting out demons, delivering people, setting
Yes.
people free. And yeah, people do think you're crazy when you start
Mm-mm.
talking about that stuff. But
Right? They're like, put her in a straitjacket. Don't
right,
let her ever see the light of day again.
right.
But some people need it. Their
Hmm.
demonic possession. Speaking of
Hmm.
that, recently contacted, had to go handle something like that yesterday. Um, Child doing very weird things, including eating raw meat. And you could clearly tell that this child was under some type of influence that was not of
Hmm.
this realm.
Right.
Um, it's real.
Yeah.
I understand that with conditioning, a lot of people are led to believe that, these things don't exist, which is what makes it so hard to believe at the end of the day. But
Hmm.
there's things out there that would make some people's minds go, what in the, yeah, it's crazy.
Hmm.
Um, only thing that we can do is live within our true purpose. And when we live within our purpose, anything is possible. And that's really my whole mission is to get people to understand that, if you do get a notion or, a download, psychic, whatever, intuition, whatever you want to call it, it's all the same thing. That you are supposed to pursue this path over here, whether it is art, whether it is medical, whether it is mentoring, coaching. That is your purpose. Go with that. Don't ever discredit your intuition, especially as a woman, because our intuition will get us out of some really sketchy situations. And if more people started listening to themselves, instead of everything that's going on in the outside world, it would be such a more beautiful place here on earth.
Yeah, I certainly believe that. I always tell people there's more unseen than there is seen.
Hmm.
I,
There
I,
is.
Yeah.
I
And
truly,
especially with all the things going on right now, it is very thin now between the spiritual and the natural world. So I can 100% agree with you. I think we're just coming at it with different little bit of different angles, but yeah, I 100% agree with you for sure.
Definitely. But it's amazing. Even okay, you spoke of religion. Obviously, you're clearly religious. Even the
Well, I'm not
religious
religious.
people.
I'm not religious.
Okay,
I just have a
in
relationship
between.
with Jesus. Yeah, there's a difference
She's
between
like, don't
religious
you
and
put
having
me
a
in that.
relationship. Right. Don't put me in that box though.
I kicked that box out a long time ago. I know that's right, Rachel. Okay, well, whatever your beliefs may be. But a lot of people are seeing the signs, the synchronicities, and they're
Mhm,
starting to step out of the traditional conditioning. Like,
mhm,
that's not it. There's so much more out there, regardless what path you're on, that if you follow that inner knowing and start letting go of the doubt and the resentment and the anger or whatever it may be that has limited your mindset, the possibilities for you are endless. I have a very colorful past. We'll put it that way. Okay. I have a very colorful past. And I look at where I came from to where I'm sitting at today. And it is physical, tangible proof that it doesn't matter where you come from. The only thing that matters is that if you change your mindset and you start chasing that purpose, you can accomplish anything.
mhm.
Because listen, Linda, I'm telling you, like if wait till the book comes out, you're gonna be like, my God. I'm like, I know, but just live in your authenticity. Don't worry about the naysayers. Don't worry about who's going to condemn you and try to burn you at the stake for being a witch or whatever it may be. Live your truth. As soon as people start figuring that out, things change so much for them. And I'm talking drastically change. You know, if you'd have asked me 10 years ago if I would ever come out as a medium, I'd have looked at you and said, you're crazy. You're the crazy one. But now I love it. I love every bit of it. I love when I bring a mother complete understanding that her child is not really gone. She just can't really see them, but they're all around. Everybody, you know, that's fun fact. Each one of you have somebody with you right now. There's a mother figure over here with Nicole, and you have a father figure or a grandfather with you. The grandfather was in the military of some sort.
Wow.
I would
And
check back in your lineage.
well, we can, I mean, when with ancestral memory too, and I mean, we can go so far back that it's amazing, you know, what we carry forward into this physical form when we're born, you know. And you were talking about seeing things in reels, and that has been happening to me a lot lately. And it's kind of during the in between time, you know, either when I'm going to sleep or when I'm first waking up. And this sounds really crazy, but everything is about the Civil War. I'm seeing pictures of soldiers in the Civil War, and I moved to South Carolina. And I'm like, what is this? So I think I have some connection somehow to see all these things. And it, you know, it's where it's like little clips that just go before my eyes. And it's in black and white.
And it's funny, it's because you probably have somebody that's trying to get your attention and contact with you, and they're probably either on your property or in your house. And when we come in that limbo state per se, that's kind of where I always walk, if that makes sense. You know, when you're starting to drift off, like I always feel that way. But what's happening to you is that you are now going back into the subconscious versus the conscious. So you're able to communicate with them. They're like, oh, open opportunity. I'm coming in. So those visions that you're getting is literally being passed to you from whoever is in your home or your space. They're giving you a
Okay.
message. I would write it down. Each movie reel that you get, write it down. You'll get the whole picture at some point.
Oh, wow. Okay. I will do that. Definitely. Thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you. And how did you connect with like the police or whoever you work with to solve murders? I think that's incredibly interesting because it's so out of
So,
the realm of how you view police officers. It just seems like they're in such a box of
you know, sorry to interrupt you.
no,
Most of
go ahead.
Yeah, most of them are. Unfortunately, there was a child who disappeared here in Columbus, Ohio. His name is Isaiah Stewart. And I'm sorry, not Isaiah, but Imperial Stewart. A friend of mine who knows about my abilities was friends with the mom. So she contacted me. I actually called Crime Stoppers and told them exactly where they would locate him and his car, down to where the train tracks was, the car, et cetera, and they found him exactly where I led them to. That
Wow.
did kind of open a little bit of an investigation on me.
I was going to say, yeah.
But at the end of the day, the officer that was actually handling the case became very intrigued. You know, and he had heard of other, you know, officers and offices across the country using psychics. A lot of us are behind the scenes and in the shadows. So he wanted to go ahead and pursue it. And that kind of opened up the doors for all of it to blow up as big as it did. Because at first I just kind of did readings for like family and friends, or I have like a psychic hotline that you can call me on. But that's kind of what really set everything in motion for me. And then I work with a couple other people who do like reconstructive facial recognition, or like AI to like reconstruct bones and things that's been found. And then we kind of put a face with a name. And, you know, when I see their picture come to life, sometimes it can be pretty heavy and pretty devastating, because when I get the picture reels, I see everything. I see what happened to them, who did it, where they were going, all of it. So it can get kind of heavy at times, but at the end of the day, as long as we get them home to their family and somebody stops grieving for them, that's all that matters.
Wow. And
So-
can you shut it down when you want? Can you say, okay, I'm tired. Don't talk to me. Let me sleep.
No, that's actually the joke I started with. Like, they do not respect boundaries. Like, everybody's like, I envy And I'm like, trust me, you don't envy me. It never stops. Sleep, you might as well forget it. Like I said, no boundaries. They're like, I'm coming in whether you're sleeping or not. I've been bathing and stepped out and somebody was standing in the bathroom. And I'm like, excuse me, do you not see me taking a shower here? They don't stop. They never stop.
Wow.
So how long
what-
have you? Oh,
Go
sorry.
ahead, Rachel.
I was gonna say, how long have you been working with the police to help solve the cases?
2 years now.
Okay. And you're in Columbus, Ohio?
I am.
I'm from Ohio.
Are you?
I'm from Lima, Ohio.
You're not
About
missing
2
much.
hours. Yeah, I know. I'm in Florida now.
Oh, I'm coming with you. I'm not coming with you. I woke up like 9 degrees. What? No.
Go ahead, Nicole. What were you going to ask?
I can't. I was just. What is next for you? Where do you go from here? What are you drawn to, or what are you being told that you do? What's next?
So motivational speaking comes a lot for me. I do receive messages from the other side. So when I am talking to a client or whatnot, if there's something that's limiting their mindset or their body or whatnot, I speak on that. And I speak a lot for basically speaking life into people. And that's where I see myself going with this. I would really like to become the next John Edwards and travel the world and not only give psychic messages, but give people insight and some support because a lot of people are just going through it. And it's not that they're bad people, it's not that they're evil people, it's just that they don't feel seen. And when we make people feel seen, it can change their whole mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. And how do you discern someone that is maybe has a little bit of your abilities, but they're always going to say, I feel a male energy or a female energy. So they have a 50-50 chance of being right. Because I've been around some of those and it's like, man, I just I don't feel right about them. How do you discern who is a true psychic and one that's just playing with it?
So they tell me that I'm always receiving messages, like I'm always hearing them. So if I walk up to somebody and they're like, abort mission, do not pass go, I immediately go. You can always tell as a psychic too. You can feel a true authentic psychic like from another psychic or a fake psychic or spiritualist. And unfortunately, they're running rampant today. Everybody's a medium and everybody's a psychic, and most of them are not. They just use psychology to kind of gaslight people and brainwash them. And there's that crazy bird I was talking about.
I can hear it, yeah.
And that is kind of what makes my job a little bit harder. Not so much to navigate those type of people, but when clients come to me, they're like, yeah, right, we'll see. You know what I mean? But you just got to trust your gut. Like if you feel that instinct where they're like, that is absolutely your ancestors' guides or however you want to look at it, telling you that is not okay. This person is bad business. This person does have nefarious intent and it is time to leave. Because there are people out there who do work on the dark side, just like we work on the light side. And that their whole purpose and intent is to get more followers or ruin our lives because, well, if we're not walking in our purpose and our light, then we'll tend to go back to the dark side. And that's those types of people just run. Just run. Don't even question it. Just run.
Wow. So I'm curious, what did you choose for your chapter in the Change book?
So it is about releasing doubt. Do not allow anybody to tell you that you cannot. That coulda, woulda, shoulda, throw it out the window. Because at the end of the day, those same people who keep telling you not to do something because of whatever reason they give you are those same people that's going to keep you stuck at the same level that they are. They don't want to see you shine. They don't want to see you succeed. People typically want you to do good, but they don't never want you to do better than them. My is about blocking out the naysayers, the self-doubt, and stepping in your purpose and living vicariously through yourself and your purpose.
Yeah. Yeah, and there are, and when I listen to Rachel when she talks about mindset, you're always positive and get the doubt out, make that go away, don't listen to other people. So it does make a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense.
It
Yeah,
does. I
most
mean, I
definitely.
hid so long in the shadows because everybody's like, you're going to get locked up in the insane asylum, that I stop and think now, like, how many more people could I have brought peace to? And in a sense, I did have a sense of kind of a regret per se, which is also something that I express in the chapter. I spent so long hiding my abilities and who I am that if I would have stepped out sooner, I probably could have prevented a lot of heartache for a lot of
Mm.
people. Because I also get visions of impending doom per se that's going to come. So
Okay, am I okay? Yeah,
you're good. Everybody's good.
we got a lot to do in this. We got a lot to do in this world. So
You You really do. You have a very big
Mhm.
purpose and you are
Mhm.
living in it. And it's amazing
Mhm.
to see both of you ladies, finally trusting yourself. Rachel's been doing this a while, but you got this, Nicole. You really do.
thank you.
Got
Thanks.
to
Yeah.
trust yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's true. It's just surrounded by certain people that kind of block you in terms of they think you're, like you said, they think you're crazy. And it's like,
Yeah.
you come to a point where you realize I was given this gift for a reason,
Yes.
for a
Yes.
reason.
And that gift can help so many people. So don't ever like place yourself in a box because limited, boxed people per se want to put you there with them because they don't want you to succeed. But you have a bigger purpose. God chose you for this. So at
Mhm.
the end of the day, live for God versus people because most of the people who are living in that, limited mindset, unfortunately, they're coming back to do it again. So don't
Uh,
Mhm.
let them get you.
yeah, yeah. And you know what? When someone tells you to go to the light, is that correct? Or are you supposed to look behind you at the whole universe?
So actually, your past loved ones come to get you. This is why you hear like a lot of hospice, nurses, things like that. They talk about how, their patient is seeing their husband that passed away or daughter or whatnot. They actually come and they help us transition, and it is about stepping into the light. But the light is like I said, it's very bright. It's almost like electricity. It really looks like a wall of electricity that opens up. They step through and it's that easy. But when they step through, they have somebody to help them transition. Um, it kind of happens mainly because sometimes people can get stuck. And you hear about, haunted houses and places like that. That's because those people got stuck and those people had a limited mindset. That's another reason that I do what I do because, well, those people that get stuck, it can be pretty heart wrenching. And I don't want anybody to get stuck if
Wow.
I can prevent it.
Boy, you signed up for quite a journey this time, didn't you?
I did. They was like, sign at the dotted line. I'm like, okay, I got it.
She's son on the dotted line. That's hilarious. Mhm.
No.
Yeah. But
Well,
I mean, I just want everybody to be comfortable in their own skin. That's ultimately what this is all about, is that if you can't be comfortable with yourself and you can't shine as bright as you need to,
Mhm.
then you can't expect anybody else to be comfortable with you either. And a lot of people
Mhm.
get stuck on that as well. A lot of my clients are always like, well, I want to be loved and I want this. I'm like, but do you love you? Are you
mm,
comfortable with yourself? Are
Mhm.
you confident enough in yourself to be like, hey, I see dead people for a living? If you're, or whatever it may be, step out of your comfort zone. Anytime I ever stepped out of my comfort zone, which I'm doing it right now, things went great for me. It's all about getting yourself out of the quicksand. And I can't wait to share this chapter with you ladies because anything that, I mean, we all struggle with something one way or another. I don't care how much work you've done, there's always more work to
mhm.
do.
Mhm.
So I look forward to this journey. I know that we're all going to help a lot of people and let's get everybody unstuck. Well, at least the ones that want to anyways, because you can't save them all.
Right. Right.
Can't pay them
Amen to that, sister.
Uh-oh. Did we lose Rachel? Oh,
Oh,
there
all.
she
She
is.
disappeared. Oh,
I
there
know
she is.
all of a sudden it turned, sorry. But yeah, well, we thank you so much for just being on here today, being a part of the book, and just chatting with us, letting us know what it is that you do. And I look forward to meeting you in the future. And yeah, so we're on the top of the hour, or the half hour, I should say. We're top the half hour. So do you have any last closing words that you want to share with the audience before we hop off here?
Absolutely, guys. Besides the crazy bird in the background, sorry. Do not limit anything about yourself, your personality, your purpose, or your beliefs. Stand in your authenticity and live for you, not everybody else. And I promise you, you will get a lot further in this lifetime.
That's
Well
good.
said.
That's
Yeah,
good.
well
Very
said.
well said. Well, we thank you again so much for taking the time to connect with us and just share. And until next week, my friends, we'll see you later.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. I'm Nicole Harvick, and this is my co-host,
Rachel Best. And we look forward to seeing you again next time.